Hi guys, Mrs. Townsley here. I've got in front of me our 5-a-day, and we're on week 4, and we're on Monday. All right, I'm glad you're here. Number 1 says express the ratio in 3 different ways, and they're looking at a part-to-part relationship. And the sentence they give us is this. It says, for every apple Mike picked, Chance picked 3. So when I read this, I say for every apple. Well, you kind of have to think, well, how many is every? Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 3? So it's kind of tricky because they want you to figure out what number that would be. And so for every apple, so that just means 1. For 1 apple, Mike picked, Chance picked 3. So for every 1, Chance picked 3. And just like before, you can write your ratio with the division bar, or you can write it with the word 2, or you can write it with a colon. All right. So it doesn't matter to me which way you show me the ratio, just so you know that you could possibly see it these 3 different ways. Okay. All right. Good job. And the other thing is to remember that order matters. Order matters. I'm going to put that on here. Order matters. Because it would not be 3-1. Okay, it would not be 3-1. So for every 1 apple Mike picked, 1 has to go first. Okay, so I know the numbers are still the same, but the order definitely matters. Okay, all right, good job. Number 2 says use an integer, and remember an integer is either a positive or negative whole number. Remember, they're not decimals and they're not fractions. Okay, they're not decimals and they're not fractions. They're positive and negative whole numbers. Okay, all right, good job. And the first one says 6 meters above sea level. So above sea level is positive 6. Okay, and then if they're saying sea level, that's 0. Okay, so kind of think of sea level, like your water right there, and that's 0. Anything above, say you have a bird flying in the sky, or you have a cloud, that's all positive. And then you have all the sharks and all the fish down here, which is underwater, which is negative. Okay, so kind of think of it like that. All right, good job. Number 3, write an expression. Now, an expression does not have an equal sign. Remember that. It does not have an equal sign. And they just want us to represent this. The sum of a number b and 24. Okay? Well, the sum, remember the sum is positive. That just means positive. Okay, so you want to make sure you have a positive sign. Okay, so it says the sum, and we know that's addition, of a number b, so we don't know what it is. We don't know what that value is. They just gave us that variable. Okay, and 24. And 24. So this is all this is saying right here. It's b plus 24 just means a number b and 24. That's all you have to do. Okay, and you know what operation to use because of this word right here, the sum. All right, next one. It says list all the factors, circle the GCF. Well, if they want to know all the factors are the 2 digits that make up or equal a multiplication problem, okay? So think about if you had an answer of 6, okay, and you had 1 and 6 multiplied together, it would give you 6. Now remember, if you had 2 and 3, that would also give you 6 too. So those are all the factors, or the 2 digits, or the numbers that would make up this answer for a multiplication problem. Okay? Now you want to do the same thing for 9. 1 and 9 multiplied together give you 9. And then 3 and 3 also give you 9, but we don't have to write that other 3 in. We don't have to. Okay? So now we have all the factors of 6 and all the factors of 9, and we want to figure out the greatest, that's what G stands for, the greatest common factor. And it's 3. Okay? Good job. All right, now the next one says list 7 multiples, and they want us to figure out the LCM, which is the least common multiple. Okay? All right, so the 7 multiples of 5 would be 5, 5 times 1, 10, 5 times 2, 15, 20, 25, 30. Let's see how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we need one more. 7. Okay. So if you're wanting the multiples, it's kind of like skip counting. It's like 5, 10, 15, 20. Or you can think about it like multiplying, like 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 4, and so on and so forth. Okay? All right, now if you want to work on the multiples of 2, you want to do the same thing. You want to start with the original number, which is 2, and then do 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and it would go on up, okay? But all they wanted to know, they just wanted to know the next 7 multiples, and so we have that here, and they want to know the least common multiple. So what is the least common multiple that they have in common? Okay, and then we're going to look. It's not here. It's not here. It's not here. It looks like we have to take this out. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. It's right there. It's 10. I almost missed it. There you go. It's 10. 10 is your LCM. All right, last one. Here you go. Number 5. It says 5.42 divided by 0.8. So you want to write down what you see first. So 5.42 divided by, that's where you need your division bar, 0.8. Okay? All right, now remember, you cannot divide with this decimal. So what you have to do is you have to get rid of it. And the way that you get rid of it is moving it over 1. But whatever you do on the outside, you have to do on the inside. So move this over 1 and then up. Okay, and if we wanted to, we could rewrite our problem so it would look like this. 5, 4.2 divided by 8. Okay, because you can't divide with this decimal out here. That's a problem. Okay, that's a problem. All right, but you can change it by moving this over 1 decimal place to make this a whole number, but whatever you do on the outside, you have to do on the inside. So instead of this being 5.42, this decimal moves over 1, and it's 54.2, okay? And I just went ahead and I rewrote it just to make things a little easier. All right, and then you just solve this just like you would a typical division problem. You want to say to yourself, how many times does 8 go into 54? You want to think 8 times 5 is 40, 8 times 6 is 48. All right, and 8 times 7, no, 8 times 8, too many. So you just want to go ahead and you want to figure out what goes into 54. So 8 times 6 is 48. That's going to get us about as close as we can. All right, so you want to subtract 54 minus 48. This has to get changed to a 14. So 14 minus 8 is 6. Okay. And you just bring down your 2. And you want to figure out how many times is 8 go into 62. Well, 8 times 8 is 64, so that's too big. So what about 7? 8 times 7 is 56. That works. Now we just have to subtract 62 minus 56. We end up with 6. All right. And you don't want to have a remainder down here. Okay. You don't want to have a remainder because you've got this decimals. But what you can do is you can add a 0, because adding a 0 to this number, 54.2 or 54.20, doesn't change anything. But it does help us out on solving for this problem. Okay. All right. And now you want to look at how many times does 8 go into 60? Well, that's going to be 7, once again, because 7 times 8 is 56. Okay, and you subtract, you're going to end up with 4. Well, we still can't have a remainder. So I'm going to add another 0, bring that 0 down. So now how many times does 8 go into 40? And that's 5. Okay, so your answer is 6.775. 6.775. And if those are confusing, don't worry, because we'll have those every single Monday, and we'll work through those. But if you do need help with those, let me know. Other than that, you can always rewind and look at that again. Okay? All right. Last one. You have 5.6 times 3.7. And you want to go ahead and just multiply like you would normally. Just pretend there's no decimals, because you don't have to worry about these decimals until you get to the final answer. Okay, so go ahead and multiply like you would normally. 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times 5 is 35. Plus 4 is 39. And you want to have a placeholder here, so put your 0. Then 3 times 6 is 18. Carry your 1. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 1 is 16. All right, and then once you get here, you want to make sure you add up both of these rows. Okay, so 2 plus 0 is 2. 9 plus 8 is 17. Carry your 1. 6 plus 3 is 9. Plus 1 is 10. And then you have 2. Okay? And then you are not finished yet, because you have these 2 decimal places in your problem. And then you want to go ahead and put those 2 decimal places back in your answer. So you want to start at the very end of your number, and you want to work 1, 2 over to the left. And your answer is 20.72. All right. I hope that helps. You guys have a good day. Bye.